Welcome to my lair. My name is Obendrath. I shall be your most mysterious master. Be the Billionaire is a game that I didn't enjoy extensively. To be completely curt, it was a bit boring for my tastes. It held my hand a little too much. However, if you wish to wander into it yourself, you may be my most glorious guest. If you haven't a clue of what I'm talking about, you may view my previous video in the description. Now, imagine yourself in a world where the proverbial poopy plopped plainly into the fan, and you are among the fearless few who can stand against the creeping chaos. You don't know how this happened, but you're determined to clear the confusion. With only the skill in your soul and the weapon in your hand, you tread into the fetid fog of war and death, ready to put light to the darkness. Let me turn your focus into the game for this video. It's called Phantom Blade Executioners. PBEX, for short, is available on Android, iOS, PC, PS4, and PS5. While I primarily review mobile games, I will soon simplify in this video why I chose to play the PC version. This cross-platform title is a greatly gritty spin on the wuxia genre, a form of media mostly associated with kung fu, heroes, conspiracy, and high-flying martial arts action taking place in ancient China. To further flesh out my example, this genre's Western counterpart would be Tolkien or anything of high fantasy such as Dungeons & Dragons. The wuxia genre aside, Phantom Blade Executioners prides in its kung fu punk flavor, wherein the story is starkly set in ancient China, but they possess mechanical marvels, as well as machine-like monsters. Jumping straight into a story like this is certainly an experience unlike any other. Unless you've hopped headlong into the spikes first, of course. Starting out, you have a choice among 4 formidable fighters and a 5th one you are required to unlock. While each of them differ in playstyle, I recommend choosing the one that appeals to you. For instance, Soul is my chosen character because he looks the edgiest. Each character may then fight as one of 2 different class upgrades at a time. Moving on, PBEX plays much like a beat-em-up with tons of hack-and-slash elements. The player strolls through a stage, defeats droves of disputants along the way, and then brings themselves before a bellicose boss that they must best in order to beat the level. All while following tantalizing tales about personal goals gone gravely awry. The story can be simply summarized as villains violating the vocations of the vanquished and vouchsafing onto them vastly violent vigor and vitality. It's almost akin to being at the mercy of a grievous genie who, if you asked for him to make you a sandwich, he will make you a sandwich. Interestingly enough, if you've played its predecessor, Rainblood Chronicles Mirage, the story takes place in the same universe, but I shall say no more about it. However, I will say that the following story, as well as the side quests, feel more like an investigation rather than someone taking you by the hand. The Wulin, or the world that this takes place in, is rife with various clues and characters that you will constantly bump into in your adventures. But I must warn you that some quests will require you to make decisions that are dangerously direct. In other words, some choices are irreversible. Trust me, the story's sensational. Painful, but sensational. In comparison, PBEX plays very closely to a 2D version of Devil May Cry, so if this interests you, then you've picked up the right title. To spice up PBEX's gripping gameplay, it has an interesting skill system wherein you can arrange various skills and abilities in succession in order to create crushing combos. Accompanying this is the player character's ability to wield phantoms, physical manifestations of techniques and skills from some masters who have long migrated from this mortal coil. Think of them as perks or passive abilities that alter the effects of a skill. This is just like learning from your friend's long-deceased grandparent at a seance how to lure likely lovers with their technique put to your personal pizzazz. Phantoms are acquired through a gacha system, though trust me when I say that putting together a gear set and a combo string that works could place you at an advantage most of the time. Phantoms merely exist to enhance rather than make you mighty. Your skill is what matters most in the end. You see, all you need to do to attract likely lovers is to be yourself. Aesthetically, PBEX is a treat for the senses. The art style used here is enigmatically expressive. The music fills your ears with tones of dread and dreariness, and the animations are as smooth as silk. The character and monster designs are equally impressive as well. If you're looking for something to accelerate your ambition for art and you're an artist yourself, I highly recommend you give this title a try. Overall, I enjoy this title for its combat as well as its lore-rich world and story. I also appreciate its artistic direction very much, as everything falls neatly into place while I play it. Unfortunately, while I did say that I enjoy its combat is most of what the player would be preoccupied with for the period of their playtime. There will be a grating amount of grinding for the gear that you wish to graduate. Lastly, for some phone models, the game is poorly optimized. Unless you believe your mobile device can handle it, I recommend playing it on PC or your platform of choice instead. Otherwise, Phantom Blade Executioners is certainly a game worth your attention if you're interested in its profoundly pessimistic premise as well as its skill-based situations. The Wulin is waiting and the Phantoms call for you. If you like this kind of content, thwack that thumbs up, smite that subscribe button, and bash that bell until we meet again.